Troy, you do a number of things within the community that I think that the modern agent would probably hear and go, that sounds like something that someone would do in the 80s or 90s. But you do it and it hits. Talk a little bit about what you do with the ice cream.
So the ice cream machine comes once again from my being cheap. So I had a couple of kids graduate last year, thank God, and we're getting out of the house. But they were having a graduation party, and they wanted to have an ice cream machine at the graduation party. So we went to go rent one, and we found out it was a couple of $100s to rent an ice cream machine. And I was like, well, I'm not doing that because that's $200 you're not getting back. So instead, I went and spent $2,000, and I bought one. All right, so then I own this machine, and what we do is we rent that machine out, and it generates money for us, and it's paid for itself a couple of times, and we like it, and that's why we have it, but it's much more useful than that. So the ice cream machine is a way of getting in the door past any gatekeeper you're ever going to meet. So you show up at a business, you should probably call ahead, but it doesn't matter. But show up at a business and say, hey, I brought an ice cream machine. I'd like to set up an ice cream social for everybody who works here. All right, and that's different than going and dropping off donuts, taking cookies to an office and whatnot. When you go to the office and you drop off donuts, you're there for 15 seconds. You're saying hi to the secretary. You say, hey, I left 3 cards. If you could hand those out, that would be awesome. Ha, ha, ha. And then you're on your way. When you show up with an ice cream machine and you're the one who's serving the ice cream, you're there. Okay, you're there for a couple of hours. I did the Jeep plant, which has 800 employees across 3 shifts. I was there for 12 hours. All right, and I just sat there and served ice cream and whatnot, but I had forms out. Are you interested in talking about life insurance outside of your work? Got that approved by their union because not everybody's going to stay. Not all insurance stays and whatnot, and people filled out the form while they ate their ice cream and they sat and talked to me, which was cool. But when you show up and you've got the ice cream machine, you didn't just drop off the donuts, the people who are in charge of different areas, or even if you go to a smaller place, the owner actually comes down and talks to you. You're there long enough that they can make time in their day to come down and hear what you have to say. Because as busy as everybody is, and that includes everybody in this room, everybody has downtime on every hour of every single day. Okay? So if you're there to fill that downtime, they can come and they can talk to you. And the better part is, if they talk to you and then they think of something else they want to talk about and you're still there, they can come back. So you have even further conversations that way. So it's just a great way of getting past the gatekeeper, because that's really the biggest issue. That it's that lady or guy in the front office who looks like a complete and total bitch, and you're like, oh God, and you walk up and you're like, I want to see the person in charge, and they're like, no, and you're like, okay, so you leave. But you stop and you go, hey, I brought an ice cream machine, and I can serve everybody here ice cream over the course of the day, and it's 1,000 degrees outside. How's that sound? And they're like, come on in. And then you're there having those conversations. So that's what we've done with that.
That's awesome. So, all right. Clap it up.